Should you spend money promoting your dental practice on Facebook? No. In this video, I'm going to break down why I think Facebook marketing for most dentists is kind of just a big waste of time and money. One question that comes up all the time, especially from our own dental clients, is whether they should be doing Facebook marketing. People are bombarding them from all angles, telling them how important it is to post on Facebook or on Instagram. I'm going to give you a very different point of view, one that is probably going to be quite controversial. I don't think Facebook or social media marketing in general is a great way to spend your marketing dollars as a dental practice. Now, I know what some of you out there are probably saying, well, I do social media marketing and I get patients from it. The reason social media marketing isn't a good strategy is not because it doesn't work. It absolutely works. We've done well over $100,000 of marketing ad spend on Facebook. It will absolutely get you new patients. In fact, it will do so at a much better cost per patient than what you would likely get if you were doing flyers or newspaper ads or most traditional marketing that dentists spend money on. So then why shouldn't you do it? What's the problem with it? This is something we touched upon in our last video about what it costs to generate one new patient. If you didn't see that video, I have a link in the description below, and I highly recommend that you check that out first. The essence of the problem is this. Almost everything you can do to market your dental practice works to some degree. If you throw enough money at something, you will eventually get patients from it. It's never about, whether something or not works. It's more about what is going to work the best, what is going to generate the highest return on investment. If I put $1,000 into SEO or social media or Google AdWords or flyers or the hundreds of other things I could be doing, which activity is going to get me the most amount of new patients and for the lowest cost, and which one's going to get me the highest quality patients and do so most reliably? And here's the thing, the answer is never going to be social media for many reasons. Let's dig into some of them. The first reason, and one of the most important ones, is that people who are looking for a new dentist are not going on Facebook to search for them. So sure, you could show ads on Facebook and somebody in the area that might need a dentist may see your ad. Yes, that can happen, but compare this for a second to advertising to someone who goes on Google and types in best dentist in Chicago. Who do you think is more serious about becoming a patient? Someone who is scrolling through Facebook looking at photos of their friends and family and they randomly saw an ad on Facebook about your practice, or somebody who's taking the time to go on Google and actually search for a dentist in your area? That person searching on Google is actually looking for a dentist. They need a dentist, they know they need one, and they're taking the time to find one. You can argue that this patient is also going to be a much higher quality patient because they're actually spending the time to research their options and to find the best dentist to go to. Social media runs into the same problem with all push marketing strategies like flyers, for example. You can send out 1,000 flyers to the neighborhood and someone may, go to their mailbox, see that flyer, happen to need a dentist and say, well, let me try this place. So yeah, that does work, but it's not ever going to be as efficient as marketing to someone who is actually looking for a dentist. In the case of flyers or social media marketing, you're spending a lot of money to try to find that needle in a haystack. The vast majority of people you're spending money to reach on Facebook don't want or need or are looking for a dentist, but you still pay a lot of money to try to find those small few who are. It's just not the most efficient strategy, and that's the problem. Now, there's another weird issue you run into with Facebook and social media in general. The primary goal of social media platforms is to entertain their users, not helping dentists find patients or helping businesses find customers. They want to attract users and they want to keep them engaged, so their algorithm is going to prioritize fresh content. Now, what exactly does this mean for you? Well, let's say you spend a lot of time and money testing many different images and ads, and you find a few that work really well on Facebook. Let me give you some examples. Let's say you run an ad targeting students You have a picture of a young girl and she's dressed up in her graduation gown and she's going up on stage to accept her degree. And the headline reads something like, "Commemorate your achievement with a beautiful smile. Learn more about Invisalign." Or let's say you want to sell more teeth whitening, so you create a campaign targeting brides. It's their wedding, it's their big day, once in a lifetime, they're spending thousands of dollars on a photographer for their wedding. Imagine how embarrassing those photos are going to be if her teeth are yellow. You need teeth whitening. You get the idea. There's a lot of interesting ads you can run that create desire by targeting people's insecurities. So you run this ad and it works really well. You get a high conversion rate, you sign up a few patients for a very low cost compared to what it takes to run that ad, and life is good. Then 3 to 4 days go by and the ad stops performing well. The costs go up, the conversion rate goes down, and it isn't reaching a lot of people. In fact, about a week after you run this Facebook ad, nobody's even going to be seeing it. What the heck is going on? What happens is Facebook's algorithm doesn't want to show it anymore. Why? Again, remember, Facebook's primary goal is not to help you get more patients. It's to create entertainment for their users. In their eyes, your ad is now old. You already ran it for a few days and they want you to come up with something new. It doesn't matter that your ad produces great results for you if it doesn't help them achieve their goal of more content to keep people entertained. So the problem with Facebook is essentially what ends up happening is so much of the time and effort you put into improving your campaigns is ultimately kind of pointless because you don't get to benefit from it for very long when you come up with a really good ad. Now compare this to Google AdWords, for example. Google doesn't care if you run the same ad for the next 10 years. If the ad works, if it produces great results, not only will they keep showing it, they will actually show it more and more, and they will charge you less and less for that ad. Now you may be wondering, why would they do that? Because Google's goal isn't entertainment. It's helping people find products, services, and information that they want. If people go on Google and they're searching for things and they click on ads and the results they get don't really help them, if they're not that useful, then nobody's going to keep using Google. So if you're competing with 20 other dental practices in your area and you spend more time and effort to come up with better ads, better information on your website to create more value for patients, not only will you show up more often than those 20 other dentists, you would actually only be paying a fraction of the price to run those ads on Google. The better your ads and the better your website, the less money you pay. Now, this is not how Facebook works at all. Facebook doesn't care how good your website is or how much it helps people find a solution to their problem. All their algorithm cares about is entertaining their users with new and interesting content. Where Facebook actually works best and is actually going to produce some decent results is when it plays a supportive role, like in remarketing campaigns, for example. If someone is interested in Invisalign and they go to your website and they check out your Invisalign page, it might take them weeks or months before they decide to move forward and actually come in for a consultation. Facebook is a great way to re-engage with people who already know about you. You can share testimonial videos or nice pictures of your staff celebrating a patient's birthday, for example, or content that is warm and friendly, and you target people who in the past have shown interest in your dental services, and you just want to make sure that they don't forget about you. However, for this to work properly and actually produce a good return on investment, you need to already be driving a lot of traffic to your website, much more than 90% of dentists out there are doing. These types of campaigns are only effective when you're doing marketing at a large scale. In the end, unless your dental practice has a very large marketing budget, we're talking $5,000 to $10,000 a month or more, and unless you're already #1 on SEO and you're beating everyone on Google AdWords and you have the most Google reviews of any dental practice in your area and you still have money left over, social media is just not going to be the best bang for your buck in terms of trying to get new patients. I hope you found this video useful. If you want to see more videos like this one, consider subscribing to our channel or visit us at revupdental.com. Thanks for watching.